Welcome back, everybody. Today, remember, we're still busy with our fraction series. So today we are focusing on the multiplication of fractions. Okay, so there are three things to remember when we do multiplication of fractions. First one is that's the easy one. When we multiply two fractions, all you have to do is you have to multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. I'll show you examples. So that's the first one. It's very easy. We don't have to find LCDs. Remember what that stands for? Lowest common denominator. Yes. So we don't have to find that. We're just going to multiply the numerators together and the denominators. Okay. Now I know, I can see one of you asking, so what about improper fractions? Okay, so that's another one. It is important to write a mixed number as an improper fraction before multiplying. So we just get the mixed number and we know how to do this into an improper fraction, and then we can carry on to multiply the numerators together and the denominators. And the third thing, and this is just for you to remember and to understand so that you can always check your answer. Now let's go with, just follow me. So when multiplying a fraction by a whole number, we are actually calculating a fraction part of the whole number, a third of 12. Okay? So it is logical to then think that the answer will be smaller than that whole number, right? So if you say you do a fraction of a calculation of an improper fraction, then it can be bigger than the whole. Just think about it. Okay, let's read together. The answer can be bigger or smaller depending on the type of fraction. When a whole number is multiplied by a proper fraction, remember a proper fraction, when the numerator is smaller than the denominator, the answer will always be smaller than the whole number. And then just the reverse is true. So the answer will be greater when you multiply by an improper fractions. Only the three things. And this last one is just for you to check your answer. Is it possible or is it not possible? Okay, let's do a few examples. So you also remember from grade 6, and we've done it in the previous lesson as well, that when you say of, it actually means multiply. So they say a quarter of 1 and 3/5, if that is what they ask you to calculate, okay? So you know that they actually ask you a quarter times. Now we're going to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. 1 times 5 plus 3 is 8/5. So all we have to do is multiply the numerators together, which is 8, the denominators, which is 20. So the answer is 8/20. But remember, you always give your answer in the simplest form. So you always simplify. And can we simplify 8/20? Yes. We can immediately see we can divide 4 into 8 twice and 4 into 20 5 times. So that is our answer. Cool. They ask us to work out 3/7 of 15. So then it's 3/7 times 15/1. And so this then, all we have to do is just going to multiply 3 times 15 is 45. And 7 times 1 is 7. And then it's like we have to put it into a mixed number. It just looks neater. So if you do this into a mixed number, it is 6 and 3/7. Okay, last example. 1/2 of 25. So we put this, our rule, 1 times 2 plus 1, 3/2 times 25 over 1. So it is 3 times 25 is 75, 2 times 1 is 2. So our answer is 75 over 2, and it is then 37 and a half. Okay, right. So multiplication of fractions in word problems. Okay, so let's do that one. Simpiwe has 4/5 of her 20 crayons left in her bag. How many are missing? Okay, 4/5 of 20, so that is immediately there. We have got our sum to work out. So 4/5 times 20 over 1 equals easy. 20 times 4 is 80, 5 times 1 is 5. So we have 16. Okay, so there are 16 crayons of the 20 left. But that is not what they ask. They ask how many are missing. Please always look for what they're actually asking. So they ask how many are missing. So we're going to say 20 minus 16. In other words, we have 4 missing crayons. Okay, right. Let's see if I've got the right page. Yes. Okay. So another word problem. A bookshop advertises that they will discount their maths books by 3/8 of the retail price. Okay. They discount it by 3/8. Just think carefully. Now they ask us, what would the selling price be of a book with a retail price of 100 Rand? So remember, we're going to just read carefully. They discount their maths book by 3/8. So what is left then? So 8/8 minus 3/8 give us 5/8 that's left, right? Here I've got it at the bottom. Okay. So the leftover fraction will then be the selling price. So they say 5/8 of 100. They ask us what will the price of the book then be? 5/8 of 100. And the next one, what would the selling price be of a book with a retail price of 88? Yes, 5/8 of 88. Okay, so let's see. 5/8 of 100. 5/8 times 100. We're just going to multiply 5 times 100. We get 500. 8 times 1 is 8. So we find the mixed number is 62 and a half. So in other words, the retail cost would be 62 Rand and 50 cents. So if we answer this question, what would the selling price be of a book with a retail price of 100? The selling price, the retail cost would be 62 Rand 50. Cool. Now the other part was 88 Rand, right? Just to remind you, what would the selling price be of a book with a retail price of 88 Rand? Okay, so there we've got 5/8 times 88 over 1. And remember, I've done it in the previous lessons, and I just want to cross-cancelling some factors is a very useful technique in multiplying, because we can immediately see 8 can go into 88 11 times. So all we have to do is 5 times 11 is 55. So the retail price then would be 55 Rand. Cool. Okay, so now it's your turn. Paul and Sally decide to work shifts at a local restaurant for a total of 6 hours. Sally works a third of the time, third of the 6 hours, and Paul works a quarter of the time of the 6 hours. Okay, so they ask us, how many hours will Sally have to work? How many hours will Paul have to work? And then the manager pays them 120 Rand in total. He said, that's my money I can spend. You work it out for the 6 hours. So how much money did Sally earn for her fraction of the work? Okay. So I want you to pause, do it, and then we're going to do it together. Right. So how many hours will Sally have to work? Okay. Sally will have to work a third of the 6 hours, which is cross-cancelling, give us 2 hours, right? 2 hours, just to remember what we're working with. And Paul is a quarter of 6 hours. So he's going to work 6/4, which is, if we simplify it, is 1.5 hours. Okay. So the manager pays them 120 Rand in total for the 6 hours. How much money do you think Sally earned? So Sally will then earn a third of 120 Rand, and Sally will then earn 40 Rand. Okay, cool. So now your turn. Susan is only making 3 of 9 pancakes. So she will only need 3/9, that is a third of the ingredients. Are you with me? She only makes 3 out of the 9. So 3 of 9, if we simplified it, is a third of the ingredients. Calculate the adjusted measurements for the 2 ingredients. If it was 250 grams of cake flour and 900 milliliters of water in the full recipe for the 9 pancakes. Stop it, and I'll see the answers on the next page. Right. See who got this one correct. So it's a third of 240 grams. So that's going to give us 240/3. We can also cross cancel, but this is just to explain. So this is 80 grams. 3 goes into 240. 80 grams of cake flour instead of 240. And our third of 900 milliliters is then 900/3, which gives us 300 milliliters of water. So that will then give her 3 pancakes instead of the 9. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I see you next time.